kind of an alternative dessert. You say so, Mumsy?
What is it? Now that your nana's gone, it's up to me to ensure this doll's house continues.
Here it comes.
Which one of you is going to give me a grandchild so I may pass on this family heirloom?
I'm attacking.
It's a health hazard for a start.
I don't want that thing.
Hi, I'm Liz Farahadi and this is the SohoLIFF Spotlight. I'm very excited as we're here today with Tim Rogg, who has got the most incredible film that we're screening in January called The Doll's House. And this is brilliant. It's such a fabulous film. Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
For people watching, are you able to maybe just, don't give any spoilers, but give a little brief description of what the film's about?
Okay, it's about a family at the end of a Passover dinner, and the mother has just inherited a family heirloom, and she's keen to pass it on to one of her kids. She has 4 kids, and she wants to pass it on to the one that will give her a grandchild. So she makes the big announcement at dinner, and then chaos ensues.
Oh, I mean, it's so brilliant because you're playing with such fabulous family dynamics and generational differences as well. It's so interesting. And also, interestingly, is your sister wrote this.
Yes.
So how was that working together?
Right. Well, I for years have been making short films and had come to realise that writing is one of my weaknesses. And I also saw that my sister had been writing plays, and she was fantastic. And we entered a competition because I asked her if we could work together and she could write something, and she immediately came up with this story, and it just has proven how amazing she is as a writer, because it was the first thing she came up with, and it was brilliant.
Oh, I mean, it really is. I mean, is it based on truth?
Well, it's not based on specifically our family, but she's sort of borrowed bits and pieces. I know that you write what you know often, and she's sort of immediately drawn from our family certain elements, but I think it doesn't really represent our family so much in that. I think it represents our family to the degree that we don't have kids as a family, and we're all sort of 35 and older, so it represents that aspect. But beyond that, I would say not so much.
Yeah, but that's really interesting drawing from that. I mean, the dynamics in it as well. It's, I mean, like the value of the heirloom.
Yes.
It's where did that come from? And what inspired that? And what excited you about telling that story?
Well, the family heirloom concept, I was at first a bit worried about, because I thought a big doll's house, it's strange. It's something that it's a MacGuffin in the film, but it's also almost a character. It has its own soul, and its presence at the table is there throughout the movie, and we wanted it sort of almost in every shot. So its presence affects everybody, but I didn't want it to be like a horror film or anything like that, because it does look very interesting and unusual as an old doll's house. But I just loved the challenge that having such an unusual object brought in front of a family, and and their reactions and what it stirs up is so interesting. And I think that's a great challenge for the audience as well, that from the beginning of the film they're presented with this unusual thing that by the end of the film they feel a part of as well.
Absolutely. I mean, you've combined drama and comedy beautifully, because there's some, you know, some quite deep sort of systemic family issues in there, isn't there? Yet it's still very funny.
Yeah, it's a great balance of that sort of I love that she's written perfect observations of the way family can affect each other, the sort of trigger points that we all have as siblings, and I think it's a great, there's great energy in this family that is familiar to me. They're very sort of, they're very loud, and I just love the way they reflect a universality in families. I think a lot of people have come to me and said that it really reminds them of their family. And the fact that it's sort of a universal family is what I think it's the best strength of the film, is that people can see their own family in this family.
And do you think that family element has been the success of it?
I think so. I think what we're hearing is that the best part, and for me, what I'm most excited about, is the authenticity of the family, and the performances was just amazing.
Oh, the performances are wonderful. Yeah. So working together, like, 'cause as the director, was there a lot of changes or disagreements or things that were difficult to agree on when you were making it with Sam?
Well, I mean, when you work with family, it can be a lot different than working professionals, because you have that different dynamic.
And directors and writers, though, so to bring in the family element as well, it's like...
I mean, I have my input at the stage of writing only in that I give my feedback, but because Sam has she has her method of working, and she wants to sort of put the script together herself, and it's not, there is a collaborative process to writing, but at the same time she has her methods, and I respected that, and she produced an amazing script. So really it was just for us to run with what she wrote, and I trusted that process. So I didn't want to get involved as a writer, because I didn't want to wear the writer's hat this time, and I wanted her to have the opportunity for her script to shine. And
yeah, well, you've done that, haven't you? It's like, it really does shine. It's such a lovely film.
Yeah.
I was going to ask you about calling it The Doll's House.
Yeah.
Was that anything to do with the Ibsen play?
Well, she says it isn't, but at the same time, I don't want to speak for her, because I haven't checked on this. But she's aware of the Ibsen play, and I thought it was because that's a play, and feels like a play. It feels very theatrical and classical in that sense. But I haven't read Ibsen's one, so I'm not sure. Do you know the story of the dolls of Ibsen's one?
It's about female emancipation.
Right.
Yeah.
So there are probably similarities.
It's interesting to sort of like know. I mean. But
I should say there are a lot of films called Doll's House, The Doll's House. So I don't know if she would have. Had she known that there are so many, she may not have chosen the name.
So was the heirloom? Was it important to her for it to be the doll's house, to be a doll's house? And is there like any kind of connection there?
No connection with our family in the doll's house. I think she just did some research, and yes, our family does come from Lithuania. So this idea that it was built by her grandfather in Kovna and all that is just. It's fiction, but it's rooted in ideas that are connected to our family.
Yeah. Well, you can feel that. There's such a depth to the play. The film.
Right.
But no, it's brilliant. And what's next with it?
Well, we're doing the festival run.
Yeah.
And I'm not sure if Sam has plans to develop it into a feature film, but there aren't any plans to take that idea any further.
Yeah.
But I'm sure she has other ideas that she wants to produce.
Amazing.
Yeah.
And why are film festivals important?
I think film festivals are a great... A short film is a mini feature film, in my view. When I watch short films, I feel the same thing in 5 minutes or 10 minutes, whatever the length of the film, as I do in a feature film. So showcasing short films at a film festival is just... It's a great way to step into these worlds like you do in feature films, but more of them, because you've got 15 or 20 minutes, so you get to do that 6 times in an hour instead of just once in 2 hours. So it's a really special way to sort of appreciate cinema in its miniature form, but the same way you would a feature film, because the same love and passion and energy goes into short films, even more sometimes, because I see that people are trying to get their break. So the average short film production is full of people who are just really wanting to get on and putting so much passion into these projects. So
it's really true, because so often, I mean, these films are made with nothing, aren't they?
Yeah.
It's like with peanuts. So it is genuine. People are doing it because they care about the project. It's not a job.
exactly.
Yeah, so it's very exciting. It's our privilege to screen these films, and we're so excited to be screening The Doll's House.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, so listen, you have to see this. It's such a beautiful, beautiful film. It will be here in January 2025, and you mustn't miss it. The Doll's House. Thank you.
Thank you.